What's going on, everyone? So we got an article here by Jess posted 3 hours ago. A lot of good information in here, it seems. The headline here says Microsoft's next big gaming challenge: get AAA publishers to actually support Xbox Play Anywhere. That is an important thing because to me, it is probably the best or one of the best pro-consumer ideas I've seen implemented into gaming. I really like it with the smart delivery and all that. As good as Xbox Play Anywhere is, it's still indie studios doing the lion's share of the work here. Yeah, because most publishers will want to sell their game again. Nobody's really going to say more no to more money. It's just like telling somebody to go back and sell less. You know what I mean? Microsoft's going to have to work a deal with them or pay, and it's just business. You know what I mean? Ahead of the Xbox Ally and OEM Xbox push, this probably isn't good enough. There's a lot to talk about here. Let's go. The Xbox Ally is nearly here, but there's a problem. Over the past few years, Microsoft has been pushing its Xbox PC platform more and more, leveraging both PC Game Pass and OEM-built PC gaming laptops and handhelds to push the platform. One thing before we get into this, because there's going to be some things that people are probably going to wonder why Jess is saying this. He's just telling you the truth, and that's what you want. So I told people before, if I'm going to get a product, I want to know everything about it. I want to know what I'm buying. Like, you get this new phone, I want to know everything about it, right? No one just buy it without knowing anything. So in these reveals coming in here, he's going to let you know everything about it. So just listen to what he says and don't be combative. Just try to understand. So let's keep going. Over the past few years, Microsoft's been pushing, as we know, handhelds and all that. For Xbox console users, often an added benefit thrown in. Xbox Play Anywhere, also known as XPA, internally is a program which encourages developers to submit games to the Microsoft Store, which unified code bases that run across both Xbox consoles and Windows 11 hardware. Additionally, users who purchase these games receive a license for both versions, complete with cloud saves that run across both platforms. Xbox Cloud Gaming is often also thrown into the mix, allowing you to access these titles from virtually anywhere. Yeah, which I love. That's a really good idea. It's an awesome platform, agreed, the best platform idea, and all of Xbox's modern first-party games support it natively. However, the third-party support has been mixed at best. Yeah, of course, that's always a struggle. Ahead of the Xbox Ally handheld launch and other OEM devices expected to arrive in 2026, the Play Anywhere has yet to really receive any form of organic support from big publishers. That's a huge and growing problem for Microsoft's ecosystem efforts. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Xbox Play Anywhere with caveats. That's why I think it has to be 2027 to at least get this to where it needs to be. So we're going to talk about the Ally, like what to expect on it. Let's get ready. The Xbox Ally is doubtless responsible for an uptick in comments and questions I've received recently about the Play Anywhere. The Xbox Ally is not an Xbox. Remember, it isn't. Despite Microsoft's "this is an Xbox" marketing campaign, Jez is telling you this. Remember, guys, I've said the same thing. We already faced this here, and it's not a big deal. It doesn't change your experience with it. Is it useful for you or not? Do you want it or not? Whatever model you're looking at. Well, no, I'm not here to beat down anything. I'm here to tell you the truth. It is a Windows 11 PC at its core. Well, yeah, because if I'm sitting over here right now on my Switch 2 or my Xbox Series X, right, or my PlayStation 5 or my PC, whatever one I'm on, and I go and look at a ROG Ally at Best Buy, that's not part of the console ecosystem. That's just an extension of what I can do off of my laptop and my desktop, except in a handheld device, more restricted in a way. Not that there's nothing wrong with having that optional aspect, but we need to know what it is, and that right there would always be what it will be. And Microsoft came in and did a collaboration with them to put their symbol in there and add in some Xbox aspects, like, Game Pass, this going so it can feel like an Xbox experience. That's where that would be more like that. But the handheld device itself is a PC device. It always was. They didn't create that. ASUS did, and ASUS is PC. It's not a console. You know what I mean? So that's just common sense. You know what I mean? Just understanding what things is. Anybody who wants to argue with that's like, well, what is the big deal on any side? So that's an understanding. This is not an Xbox. You're not going to be able to turn it on and play your Xbox games right now like you would on the Series X. No. Despite Microsoft's "this is an Xbox" marketing campaign, it is a Windows 11 PC at its core, which means it will not run a huge portion of your existing Xbox library. And I was telling people this before, and they always argue with me. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. That's not bad. It's good. Now you know exactly what it is. You can look at it and say, oh, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, let's face reality. You know what I mean? It will only run Xbox console games that have Play Anywhere, which is very limited, definitely from a third-party support. So really, you're just getting it for the Game Pass aspect at the moment, or whatever games that you can own that work on there. Branding found via the Xbox PC app. And yes, there are a lot of Xbox Play Anywhere games, over 1,000 as of writing now, but the quality of this list is another matter entirely. Yeah, it's not what you think, and it's not what you want and what you recently purchased. You're hoping for that. So that's where Microsoft has to fight to get these developers, and maybe have to spend even more money. It's like they have to lose the 30% to get Play Anywhere as a success jump into the PC market. It's not going to be just straight smooth for some people. Some people are going to get pissed because they're probably thinking they're going to be able to carry more games. I said, if that was happening this year, you would be mad because there's not much there. You need to allow it to build up. That's why I feel like even next year is too early. If you see what I mean, if you're trying to push this big cloud thing to get the backwards compatibility, it takes time to do that. So that's just something to think about. It's a realistic reality, you know what I mean, that we're going to have to face, but we're still going to be fine though, because there's still a lot of good content on Game Pass and stuff coming. So yeah, we'll only run Xbox games that have Xbox Play Anywhere from the Xbox PC app, and there's a lot of them. The Xbox platform is increasingly split in two between Windows 11 and a traditional Xbox development platform. And these are serious questions that we've always had. Remember, now we're covering it here so we can get our answers, so we can know what we're dealing with. And I told people in those videos that you're moving to PC, and that's what that was. Remember that Sarah Bond drama and all that? It was right. I told you. So this is not necessarily bad. It's just I was just trying to tell you exactly what they were saying. That it's not what you think, and it's not going to be a console like you would think. And if that was the case, it would have to have dual boot. But the traditional aspect for Windows 11 compared to right now is telling you the differences. When that ROG Ally comes out, look at it and tell me what it can do, and then go on your Series X and tell me what's the difference between the libraries. You'll see what I mean by right now. That would be your transition to PC at the moment. And many people probably do not want that. Yeah, you need to wait longer so you can get more games and more stuff on the cloud, and the cloud to get better and more cheaper, like they're doing, to be more accessible to jump into the PC market if you wanted to, or you could sit there and wait on the Series X still and play backwards compatibility games or play on the cloud on it. I'm pretty sure they'll probably have something like that, just in case, until the carryover gets better and better. Just a backup plan for you guys, or an idea. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you wanted to keep your physical games or stuff like that, it's not like you have to get rid of it. It'll still be there. So yeah, that's the split that's going on. Although the bridges between the ecosystems are shrinking, yeah, slowly and slowly over time, it's getting closer and closer. It doesn't have to be like this forever, but it's going to take some time. And I'm giving you guys a realistic outlook on it. So it's just games built for Xbox consoles are typically unable to run natively on PC. Because it has a different Windows locked kernel system in there. And they're still running Windows 8 aspects. This is up to 11 when DirectX 12. You know, it's not the same with NVIDIA and all that and all those other aspects. And games packaged for traditional PC environments are typically not able to run on an Xbox console natively either. Microsoft's Xbox Play Anywhere program allows developers to submit packages for PC and Xbox versions under a single store listing, maintaining save file compatibility across both endpoints. Microsoft says developers who use Xbox Play Anywhere see boosted engagement. Anecdotally, I can say that I prioritize purchases increasingly based on what games actually support Xbox Play Anywhere, but it's pretty clear that Xbox users on the devices like the Lenovo Legion Go and ASUS ROG Ally represent a pretty niche audience. I gave people a realistic outlet about that. This is not something that's going to sell millions or anything like that. The audience will likely grow a fair bit when the Ally drops on October 16th. I've been surprised by how many messages I received from people who are confused about what kind of games this system will actually run. But in hindsight, it's pretty clear as to why. We have the answers here and we're getting it out. Microsoft has been a strong advocate of backwards compatibility for Xbox games, effectively promising backwards and forward compatibility for all Xbox games since the Xbox One launch in 2013. Microsoft's next Xbox will also boost full backwards compatibility too with Windows PC. That's a little trickier because the Play Anywhere is the bridge that is always going to 100% sync, but you want to get that as much synced as possible with the cloud backwards compatibility and future cloud games synced as much as possible. And then once that starts filling up so much, then the benefits will happen at the highest degree that you would think about. It takes time to do that, not like that, you know? So be patient. It's already good right now, and it will keep getting better and better. Many had hopes that Microsoft would build its own handheld with full compatibility for existing games. That would have been unwise. Wait till next gen. At least the Xbox One or Series S versions, they made the right move. Learn from other people's and see how it works. Alas, we're getting a traditional gaming PC instead. Props, Jez. At least for now, you gotta tell people the truth, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that a huge amount of AAA games simply don't support Xbox Play Anywhere. The quarter has been absolutely stacked for high-quality game releases, including games like Chronos: The New Dawn, Hollow Knight: Silksong, and Ready or Not. All of those support Play Anywhere, too, but they do have... What do they have in common? Well, they're like little indie games and stuff, and little studios. But Nintendo's going to get most of the spotlight for that, because that's what they've been supporting. For some reason, Xbox Play Anywhere seems to have one support primarily from indie studios and smaller teams, and it helps. And sees particularly strong adaptation when Xbox Game Pass is included. You know, big publishers like EA, Ubisoft, Take-Two, and Capcom seem... well, I guess you could say... ambivalent. Yeah. Capcom brought across Resident Evil 7 and then largely dropped the program entirely, seemingly unconvinced of its worth. Square Enix has been very supportive so far, as we see 7's going to do that, but it already got its juice out and that's just extra money, why not? But dropped it for tactics. That makes sense, though, it's a newer game. I feel like this is becoming a particularly irritating issue as Microsoft pushes its PC platform more and more. Because they're trying to make more money, not lose more. You're going to have to pay them a lot then. Positioning the virtues of roaming profiles and platform agnosticism is particularly problematic when there's a competing platform poised to potentially do it far better. Oh, I know what he means, because they're comfortable there. You can still play the game, be successful. You don't have to do all that, and you're going to be making more money anyways. And you get more exposure, and it's the usual. Or Microsoft's going to have to bargain and fight to stay relevant in the PC market. And then in the handheld aspect too, it's like Nintendo has so much of that. Sony's going to be coming around the corner. They have their own ecosystem. So, you know, stuff like that is just something to have a concern about. It's a realistic outlook. But will you still be fine in the Xbox world? Sure. Things are going to be fine. The issues with Play Anywhere honestly extend beyond simply having blanket access to games. We can't even get AAA devs to organically support the option to buy a separate copy on the Xbox PC store. Borderlands 4 dropped today, and there's nowhere to be seen on the Xbox PC app. Capcom gave up on the Xbox PC store after launching RE3 Remake, not even bothering to launch 4 Village. That's a pretty striking indictment of the platform, in my view. Well, so that's the thing, yeah, because Capcom talked about their growth on PC with Steam. They see that as a waste of time. Sometimes they'll just ignore it. Then they got Nintendo and PlayStation, you know, and all that stuff. So they're fine, and they're still got everything going on. So Microsoft's strategy increasingly seems to be pointing at Steam as a competitor instead of PlayStation, and that's potentially problematic. Microsoft is positioning its gaming platform itself as a weaker version of Steam in that universe, particularly if Steam begins offering devices that can offer a capable living room experience. Microsoft isn't stopping the Ally X or the Xbox Ally when it comes to OEM devices. I've heard increasingly credible rumors that Microsoft could be lining up OEM Xbox branded living room gaming PCs with partners in 2026. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be multiple models, cheaper tiers all the way up to that. 100% believe that, guys. I don't know when though. Next year, we'll see. But hey, maybe. These devices will end up becoming de facto Steam devices, owing for the lack of native support for Xbox PC ecosystem. Basically the same thing here, but with that machine. And it's the same thing. That's what they're going to be doing. Get ready for that. By pushing me towards PC, Microsoft is increasingly and ironically pushing me towards Steam for a lot of my gaming experiences. Right now, more than half of my gaming library is locked into the Xbox console. And there's a support. This is an Xbox ecosystem. Microsoft basically preaches about it. He's saying, if I truly want all of my games to be on all the devices I own, which is the ecosystem lifestyle Microsoft says I should want, wouldn't it be smarter for me and anyone else to find this idea attractive to move to Steam fully? With all of the work Microsoft is doing to improve Windows 11 for controller gaming and TV-oriented gaming without the ecosystem developer support to back it, isn't Microsoft just enhancing Steam's position rather than its own? Steam is one living room PC away from effectively co-opting Microsoft's vision before it even gets off the ground, because it's going to be hard to move them away from that profile that they're attached to. After we talk about the carryover for anything, yeah, they're not moving. It'll just have to be the Xbox hardcore communities coming from the Xbox console, and for people who still want to support that for Game Pass, just to use that. But they don't want to have to pull that up to play Steam. I'm just going to go on Steam. I'm telling you. So it's going to be a problem with less support. A big problem stopping developers supporting the Xbox PC store is the sheer complexity over Steam. Submitting a game to Steam, plus that you got GOG outside of that for your DRM freeness. Steam is simple and straightforward with minimum certification processes. Yeah, I don't like the game bar, none of that. Valve leaves it up to developers to manage their own quality, and community is notorious for blitzing games that aren't optimized out the gate. Borderlands 4 is falling afoul for optimization right now. It's pissing me off too. I have it right here and I've been playing it, but Unreal Engine 5, man, makes me mad. Microsoft's PlayStation and Nintendo are generally more aggressive with ensuring a minimal degree of quality before a game hits the store, but it's not always perfect either. Right now, developers I've spoken to have been pretty clear. They don't see a huge amount of upside supporting the Xbox PC platform natively, let alone giving away a dual license via Xbox Play Anywhere. They're losing money. No, they're not going to do that. So Microsoft needs to do a lot to boost visibility of the benefits of being an Xbox Play Anywhere, or even an Xbox PC app from the outset. If these aren't tangible benefits, that needs to be solved. Of these are tangible benefits that needs to be solved too. Perhaps developers supporting Xbox Play Anywhere should get a bigger cut, or direct marketing support. The developer tools need to be improved perhaps too, and simplicity of doing something as basic as publishing on the Xbox PC app or Xbox console itself needs to be vastly enhanced too. A lot of work to be done. We live in an era of rapid content digestion, the era of gatekeeping the platform, and heavy-handed CERT has handed an entire generation to platforms like Steam and Roblox as well, which prioritize access over polish. There's downsides to both approaches for sure, but Microsoft Xbox Play Anywhere strategy hinges entirely on having games to play. Microsoft is ironically manufacturing an app by prioritizing this platform over fighting hard for new users on a console, and we know how that turned out for Windows Phone. So this is the concern here. Let me know what you guys think about this. I understand this concern. This is a future and a reality and a difficulty that they're going to have to face moving to Xbox PC along with the users. We let you know what's going on with the Ally. We let you know what's going on with the Play Anywhere program and what you're going to be looking forward to. So hopefully it gets better, and I think it will. We'll find out. But this is a really good article. I liked it. It's very realistic. Let me know what you guys think. Later. Ponies, sit down.